get started.
The exchange.
You guys ready to get started?
Okay, guess we're getting started. Okay. All right, Cyrus, it's all you.
Thank you so much. First off, thank you all for your time. And thank you, Hannah, for the opportunity. My name is Cyrus Richardson, and I'm a filmmaker here in Columbus, Ohio. So I would like to talk to you guys about the film economy here in Ohio. And hopefully I give you guys some advice with psychological health as an entrepreneur as well.
Yeah. Let me know when you're doing auditions.
Okay, we'll see.
Come on, Leslie. Yeah.
Make sure you're working on your skills while you're waiting. But I work with a Braintree out of Mansfield. They help start up businesses, and they've helped me get this far. I got a degree in psychology as well, minor in communications. Recently graduated from Ohio Media School and was given some awards there. So over 10 years being in the film industry here in Ohio. Film projects. I'm also an event coordinator for Columbus Young Professionals, so that's helped me with my networking tremendously. So last year we raised $200,000. That was really tough. Had to build a team, and it's $138,000 is in grant money. So we awarded the Ohio Film Tax Credit. GCAC gave us a grant, and the city of Hilliard, I believe Hannah yesterday said Hilliard is one of the top cities in America. You know, so okay, in the world. This is no lie, because Columbus is one of the smartest cities in the world. Tokyo was on this list as well. I believe it.
Because we're here.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Sacramento, California, and I graduated from Florida. So I have no reason to be biased towards Ohio.
Right. You all over.
This is an emerging state, and it is unbelievably diverse. There's power in diversity, and I think that something's a brewing here, and that's why I want to be a part of it. I can live anywhere I want to. I'm choosing to live in Columbus because I believe this is the next big thing, tech-wise, fashion-wise, restaurant-wise. You know, so maybe I'll run for some type of, mayor or something. But I've completed 7 short films so far. Our last one was in Cincinnati. It swept, pretty much the whole thing. We've been doing that for many years. We got Audience Choice Award, and it got Best Picture along with some other awards as well. And then we recently won the Hilliard Short Film Festival Best Picture. So things. Thank you very much. I'll say this as well, that my producer is God, and God is the greatest producer, and I am, working with him. So he's aligning things each and every day. So here is some of my teammates who've been working together for many years. So we're sticking together. We got a feature film coming up, and taking my team with me. So that's our Braintree Progress. They had events in Mansfield. Mansfield is where they shot Shawshank Redemption. I was just at a 30-year reunion there. So Mansfield is a big film city, actually. And then Cleveland and Cincinnati are bigger film cities than Columbus. So, like I said, we were awarded the Ohio Film Tax Credit, and there was only 2 films in Columbus. Everything else was in Cleveland and Cincinnati. I don't know if you guys heard of Down to the Felt. That was a $1.5 million budget. They finished up, they were on a circuit, on festivals. But that's the biggest production that's ever been shot in Columbus. And that was the only other film. So Columbus, where's the filmmakers at? Guys, let's go. I'm staying here to get it going. So 7 short films. We have back-to-back Audience Choice Awards at the Cincinnati Festival. So I like to think that me and my team, we know the recipe and the equation to get people to like and vote for you. So it's truly an art and a craft. So it took me many years. I'm not gonna play that because it's a little sunny outside. That's the trailer, but that's the film that has, won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Cinematographer, the Hilliard Film Festival as well. So this is moving me towards getting my experience for my first feature film. So more festivals, pretty much every festival we're entering into, we're doing pretty good. So I'm really grateful for my team. So now I'm ready to start my feature film. And we've been fundraising for this for many years. Hopefully we get the rest of the funding this summer. So the title is Aimless, and it is a feature film about a clinical psychologist who takes on a teen client traumatized from episodes of sleep paralysis. The more she works with him, they find out, discover who is behind the spiritual entities invading his dreams. So, here's the question. Sleep paralysis happens to 30% of the population. Please raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about with sleep paralysis. Anybody? We got 1, 2, 3. See, that's 30%. You see that? Right there. Okay, this is something that I used to experience less than 10 times in my life. Absolutely terrifying. It started when I was around 8 years old.
Wow.
And I never told anybody. I was having demonic experiences. It wasn't until I got to college and I learned the term sleep paralysis. And I was like, oh my God, this is a real thing. I'm not alone. Are you kidding me? And so now I get on social media, start talking to people. There's people all over the world explaining their sleep paralysis attacks. And here's the crazy part. They're describing the demons the same, everybody. Look it up. Fact check me. There's something called the Hat Man, Incubus or something. So our fan base outside of America is Malaysia and the Philippines, Indonesia, and so we've got this whole network of people that are now communicating. That's what social media has given us the capability to do. Because I'm over here sitting here like, how come we're not talking about sleep paralysis? Like, it's 2025. Like, how come no one is talking about this? This is some real stuff. 30% is a big chunk of the population, and this is absolutely terrifying. So, well, for those who raised their hand, I would like to ask you guys some questions here, about your experience. So I felt like I had a unique concept, and part of my pitch is I like to play around and say, what's that army movie called? And you'll say the Private Ryan. What's that movie about, toys? Toy Story. What's that movie about aliens? Alien, Men in Black. Okay, what's that movie about sleep paralysis called?
Aimless.
There we look at that. Very good. So pretty much this is an untapped market. There is no other film out there that is talking about this. So I like to be the first to the moon. That's what I'm waking up to every day. So sleep paralysis because of social media. Look at the searches. Australia, United Kingdom is up there. I have a podcast host. She's actually from the UK. So sleep paralysis is an untapped market, like I was saying, and it has not been brought to the public on a global scale in the film industry. So I think I've got something unique here, and I try my best to be the best screenwriter I could. Went to college for it and took many classes, and I will continue to learn, reading books and learning from mentors and other people. So I'm trying to bring right here into Columbus. So we've been on TV about 5 times already. Try to keep my cast here in Columbus and Mansfield best I can, and then we're going to, outsource whoever is out there. So Janetta Kaiser is from LA, Bo's from Mansfield, Dwayne Eggerson is from Columbus. All these people are just winning awards. I know we haven't heard of them, but you will. They are a Bruin, and they're very hard workers. So Janetta Kaiser was on Peacock. She was on a show called Vampire Diaries.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we're moving on to Hilliard supporting us. They gave us a $25,000 grant. Got to thank Morgan Koff with Big Kitty Labs.
I just texted him right now.
Oh.
Great. So he introduced me to, there was an event at the Cricket Can, and I guess they didn't select me to be in the pitch competition, but he brought me aside and said, hey, I'm going to introduce you to the city council members of Hilliard. And I just went in there. They said, bring your pitch deck and listen to you present. And then I did that with my producer, and I was like, all right, thank you for my time. And they said, hold up, we want to give you a grant. Okay? See, that's how God works.
Yeah, I was just about to say, look at God.
And shout out to Big Kitty Labs and Morgan Koff for making connections. And to this day, he's like, I don't want nothing back. I don't want nothing from you. So he's got some reciprocity coming his way. So just show up, everybody. Just show up, and doors will open. It gets very frustrating, doesn't it, as an entrepreneur? So we got to find a way to reset ourselves. I like to say, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Okay? So when you feel like quitting, just go take a nap. Just go take a nap. And then you'll wake up like, all right, I'm back. Okay? So you can't get into that pouty train of thought and deter you from your dreams. Every day you wake up, it's a battle, right? Between your spirit and your flesh, and the dark one, and the God that is trying to bring us to our potential. Every day is a battle, right? So let's strengthen up our mental self-talk, all right? So we got the Ohio Film Tax Credit, like I said, and then another one. So all this adds up to $138,000. We get that after we begin filming. So we still need the hard cash now money right now to
How much more are you needing?
40K.
Okay.
That was coming.
Okay.
$40,000 is needed more. So I'm waking up every day like, if I just raise $200,000, I can raise $40,000 more.
Yes.
But it's, you know, it comes when it's supposed to come. So just keep preparing yourself when your dream's not happening on your time. It's an opportunity for you to develop further, and then your reward will be even bigger. Okay, so everyone stay focused here. The financial plan, maybe some boring stuff, but the little infographic. We've got relationships with so many theaters throughout Ohio, mainly in Columbus, Cincinnati, and Cleveland. So the plan is to get foreign and domestic distribution. Okay, that's the dream. Yay, Netflix is going to call me one day. We'll see. But here's the backup plan if that doesn't happen. So as an entrepreneur, ask yourself, what's your worst case scenario? And then make a plan for it. Make a plan for it. Make multiple plans for it. Okay, so my worst case scenario is I don't get distribution. What am I going to do? I'm going to self-distribute through Columbus. Brian was sitting over there earlier. He's associated with the Drexel Theater. And we've got the Lennox already lined up. Studio 35. Grandview Theater. Theaters in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and we've already got the relationships. If this is free or very cheap for them, nothing is charging us more than $300. Everything's either free or $300 or less for me to show my movie there. So nothing can stop me. I've got my movie. Nothing's going to stop me from, so that is my backup plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so the overall budget is $350,000. Our budget was actually lower than that, but it was like $200-something thousand, and we said, well, you have to, if you want to qualify for the Ohio Film Tax Credit, your budget has to be over $300,000. So we just bumped up our budget a little bit, and now we were able to get it. Here's the other thing. We did not get the Ohio Film Tax Credit initially. 2 weeks later, we were devastated because we were hopeful. 2 weeks later, they called us and said, a film has dropped out. And so you're the next film in line. So if you look in the Columbus Dispatch, you will see all the films that have been awarded the Ohio Film Tax Credit. Superman is #1, and then Aimless just snuck in at the bottom. Someone had to drop out. See, and I thought in that moment, when I was devastated, I didn't pout. I didn't pout. I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep going. And I believe God was like, all right, I'm gonna award you now, because you didn't act like a crybaby. You didn't what you wanted. So he saw the champion come out of me, and then he followed up and said, you know what, you can have it now. You know, that's how we kind of develop our kids, for those who got kids, right? Sometimes you just gotta say no, just to see how they act. It's like, oh, look at you. You're acting like a champion. You know what, you can have it now. And that's how we gotta stop spoiling our kids out here, but that's another subject, right? So, to break even, we need $50,000 tickets sold. Just in Ohio, I believe I can do that. 50,000. You know how many people live in Ohio? 11 million people live in Ohio. How many of those people are moviegoers? We're going to try to influence people to get back into the movies. But 50,000 people to break even. So anything over $50,000, we're now making money. This is just in Ohio, everybody. This movie can go out to other states, and of course to, you know, foreign. Like I said, we got Malaysia and the Philippines. Wherever our following is strongest, that's where we're going. So I believe that we can break even just in Ohio alone. And that's why I like my budget to be low, because it gives us a better opportunity to recoup our funds. People are walking around saying like $1.5 million, $2 million budget, and it's like, good luck getting that money back. People aren't even going to the theaters. You better, even if you have a cast with known faces. It's still hard to get people to go to the movies these days. So we gotta, adapt and overcome and be more strategic. So like I said, those are some of our distribution channels there that we've established on our own here in Ohio. Those are some of the TV appearances. Good Day Columbus, sitting down with Kelby Kings out of Mansfield, Daytime Columbus, NBC4. So I don't believe I could have done this in any other state. And this is why I owe Columbus. If I was in LA, I would have got lost, right? If I was in Atlanta, I would have got lost in the clutter. But here I am in Columbus, somewhere emerging, and I'm getting support from Hannah, from Mansfield, from NBC4, Fox 28, So, hey, be a big fish in a small pond, right? So, here we go. That's my executive producer. He's been working with us for years. He is part of Braintree out of Mansfield. And here's my other investor so far, Cindy Englefield. I just came from a Tiger Talk in New Albany today, and she was the presenter. So I had to go show support to her, but she's with Accelerating Angels that helps women in their entrepreneurial journey. So please look that up and support her and them, because they're certainly doing a lot for Columbus out here. So some of the strategic partners, Ohio Municipal Accelerating Angels, Western Center of Arts, From the Heart Productions out of California. That's our fiscal sponsorship partnership. Received grants from all 4 of those, organizations. So again, just being resourceful and appreciating Columbus. So that's the investment opportunity. $40,000 is needed to begin filming. So in talks with a lot of people, and it's just, I believe that Columbus is turning into something where entrepreneurs can come and receive funds. It's overcrowded in these other cities. We're becoming number 1. The people in California, they're moving back to Ohio. The people in Atlanta, they're moving back to Ohio because of our cost of living, because we're more of a community, because we've got the 3 C's within 2 hours away. So there's no way someone in North California is really networking with someone in South California, right? But here in Ohio, someone in Cleveland is networking with someone in Columbus, in Cincinnati. So really, because of the size of our state, our landscape makes it us, the proximity for us to network together. And they're all coming to Columbus. At the end of the day, we are the center. We are the logistics heart of America. That's why the headquarters are moving here. That's why meta companies are moving here, because of our cost of living, because of our concentration of talent, and because we can get to New York, Florida, and be in 4 different states within 2 hours. Okay, I got a degree in logistics too as well. So yeah, they are, it's coming here, I see why. So here's what I tell my teams before we start a production. The prophet Elijah used 12 stones to build an altar for God. And the use of 12 stone monument became a form of marking a spectacular event. So my team thought I was crazy saying this, like, okay, that's just whatever he's saying. But then we started sweeping all of these festivals. And now I can look at, I told you, didn't I tell you? See, like I'm a man of my word. I'm not going to put my name on something, and if it's whack, then we're not doing it. So I'm very critical, and I love my team. So that's all I've got. I'd like to ask some questions for them, but thank you guys. Question. Timeline for production. So got to get this 40,000, and then we'll be able to get our schedule. But it's going to be 30 days, so about 15 days of shooting, 5 days a week, 2 days off. So that's 3 weeks, and then that last week, whatever we have to redo. So just round it up to 30 days, then we need 2 months of post-production of editing. So if we were to get the money right now, today, then hopefully we can get this done before Halloween, because that would be the perfect time to release this, October 31st. Question?
I'm one of the 70% that doesn't suffer from sleep paralysis, and I've never heard of it. So I kind of get that you can't get up, but outside of that, I have no clue what you're talking about. What are the gremlins?
Yes, thank you for asking that. I did not explain that. So, like I said, it started when I was 8 years old, happened to me less than 10 times. I'll tell you a couple, then I want to talk to them as well. We're actually all paralyzed when we're asleep. I never knew that. We're all paralyzed when we're asleep in that rapid eye movement stage. And they say, so you don't act out your dreams, so you don't jolt yourself awake. So the people who sleepwalk and they go get a butcher knife and they're driving and they're like, oh, I didn't know what I did. You know, they got a paralysis problem.
I was like, they weren't paralyzed though.
Yeah, so they have a paralysis problem. But anyways, the sleep process is, there's stages to sleep, you know, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that deep stage when your eyes are flickering and in that rapid eye movement stage, you're actually paralyzed. And it's a phenomenon. You're supposed to wake up 4, 3, 2, 1 and start your day. It's a phenomenon when you're in that rapid eye stage movement and you just wake up and you can only move your eyes. And a lot of people hallucinate demons. It's usually in the peripheral vision, and it's usually like in a doorway, and it's people feel the demonic things, see demonic things. Yes. Yep. No, I have not personally, but that is like the number one, you know, thing that they have in common. So it's called like the old hag.
So it's a hallucination?
Ooh, yes, it's a hallucination, but let me tell you guys, it does not seem like hallucination.
But it's a hallucination that you read that somebody else had the same hallucination.
I mean, yeah, it's more.
That's why I'm trying to make sure I understand.
Yeah, so see how she's saying that's someone on their chest? That's like over 50% of what people are saying. And then now, the people who are seeing demons, they're describing it the same. So it's not just 2 people, it's hundreds of people saying the same thing.
And what are doctors saying
Well,
about
now
it?
we know.
I mean,
Great question. What are doctors saying about it?
yeah,
So this is why we need sleep doctors to be our accredited investors, because
he's 8 years old.
they are,
I've been dealing with that for a long time.
a lot of these sleep doctors never experienced it, so they're getting these patients coming in, like telling them about demonic experiences, and a lot of these scientists or doctors, they just have they don't have the spiritual IQ, so they're looking at the patients like they're kind of crazy for the most part. And so if you can find a sleep doctor who has that sleep paralysis, now that's a powerful
Yeah, the
person
sleep
right there.
studies for like they do it for sleep apnea. Like I took, I took my grandmother where they monitor her sleep, right, to know that people that have sleep apnea don't breathe in their sleep. So could they not do the same thing and see and track what's going on in the brain at that time?
Yes, and this is a subject matter that needs to be more explored, but again, exploring this will lead us to truth, and that truth will probably be God. So that's my conspiracy. That's why it's like, let's not really talk about this. So, yeah, go ahead. I'll get back to this.
Whether or not you believe it's a hallucination depends on your experiences with the spiritual world. And I won't do it, but I can tell you that with no human around me and nothing movable, I had something hit me in the back to push me into the path of an oncoming pickup truck. And I was about a 45-degree angle down, like a little bit. And as I was going down, I got hit in the chest and pushed back upon the sidewalk. I was in my 20s, and that's when that spirit world became real.
And this was in your sleep.
She sounded like she was walking up
Wait,
the street.
this
She
was
said they-
this is what happened in your sleep. So your
No,
paralysis.
this
She
is
was awake.
Oh, this is real life.
Street corner,
Oh my
way
God.
across the street.
There was a truck involved.
When the stoplight changed, the pickup truck, it was a very narrow street where the edge of the lane was the curb of the sidewalk.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, it was that close. There was no distance. So I was in essence about 2 feet
Yeah.
from the edge of the curb, and the edge of the curb was the edge of the outside 4-lane highway on an old city street that had been converted to a major 4-lane highway. The stoplight changed, turned yellow. Out of my left ear, I heard a roar of a pickup truck. There's nothing, and nobody around me. I'm standing on that corner, totally by myself. I get hit right between the shoulder blades, start falling forward, get about that far down, 45-degree angle, and get hit here and push back on the sidewalk before the truck went by.
Yeah.
So when this man talks,
Yeah.
it's not hallucinations.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I just got chills as soon as you said that, actually.
Definitely
Hold on,
an
so let me
angel.
tell you guys I'm not trying to take up too much time. I'm wrapping up here. Let me tell you guys my experiences. Like I said, it started when I was 8. Now, it usually happens when you're sleeping flat on your back. This, I was laying on my side. And so I was looking at the back of the couch. The door is behind me. I wake up, laying sideways. All I can move is my eyes. And I feel the most demonic presence building up on me. I'm 8 years old, just getting closer and closer. And it's getting bigger. And I can just feel the fear in me. It's pure evil. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot move. What is going on? And then I snapped out of it and I looked immediately. Nothing. Nothing. I told nobody this. Okay, here's my last one. I told you this happened to me less than 10 times. My last one, I just became a Christian. 10/16/06, 2006. I read in the Bible 2 days before my last experience. Luke 10:17. Jesus, even the demons submit to us in your name. Even the demons submit to us in your name. Luke 10:17. So here's my last experience. I just became a Christian. Woke up, boom, sleep paralysis, can't move. Not a hallucination, but sure, let's call it one. My ceiling fan is going crazy. The posters on my wall and everything in my room is spinning like an exorcist. I promise you guys, in Jesus' name, it was spinning like crazy, and all I can think is just say Jesus, and I couldn't. And I'm just like paralyzed, and I'm just fighting, and it was like probably 30 seconds, and I just said, Jesus, and I snapped at it. Boom, everything went away. Everything away. I never had sleep paralysis ever again.
Wow.
That Satan knew that, I became a Christian. He knew I became a Christian. He was furious. So is it a hallucination? No, you can't. There's no way you could tell me that was a hallucination. I have no reason to make myself look crazy in society. Guys got better things to do. Okay? So that's my testimony. Thank you. I would like to, who is sleep paralysis victims over here? Yes, sir. Okay, here we go. How old were you when this happened now?
It's been with me 3 times. Last time was in my 20s, so 15 years ago. And I was sleeping on the back, and I woke up, and I felt something sitting on my legs, like I couldn't move. And I looked, and it was a shadow sitting on my legs, and it was a good 10, 15 seconds. And all of a sudden, it just got up, and I could move again.
Wow.
You had sleep paralysis. How old were you when it first happened?
I was 7.
Oh my God.
Did you tell anybody?
Absolutely not. No, I was too scared. So my parents had taken my older brother and my little brother to the movies, and I was with my little baby Ev, so they just let me home. I'm 7. And I woke up, and I kept hearing this scratching noise in the hall. I got up, in my brain, I got up, and then I opened the door. The light was already on. And then I keep hearing this noise, and I walk further down the hallway, light shuts off, and then I'm back in my bed. And then my door opens, and then, I don't know if you guys can picture, take like a pencil and then scribble like that outline of a silhouette of a person's head. So it's just like black scribbling lines in the shape of a circle. Put very white eyes on that, and red teeth, that's what's looking at me.
Oh, no.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so, hey, there's a lot of people living with this and not telling anybody because they're,
Wow.
scared to come across, like, you might need help. But I will end that. Thank you guys for
Wow.
your time. Hey, let me know how I can help all of you guys. Let's take Columbus to number 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think what we should do at the movie theater is give everybody a free stick of sage. We could do that. I can sponsor that. That sounds good. And we also have a Reiki specialist over here, so we can get busy in a little bit. Okay, there we go. There we go. No, but I think that I was just Googling them too. I didn't realize I'm a preacher's kid too, so I have never even heard of this.
Me neither.
But I was doing some research, and there's so many organizations out there for this, Cyrus. You should just call one of these people and tell them you see 40